Hello. I'm Chelsey.
And I'm Sammy, and this is
Deepish.
Hi, you guys.
Hi.
Happy Halloween Eve.
Happy Halloween. If you're not watching, this is the one to watch.
Yeah. I've never felt uglier in my entire life.
Oh my gosh. So we decided to dress up as
Zach and Cody from Sweet Life.
And I literally opened the door to come record, and Sammy answers the door in her polo and cargo shorts and wig, and I had the biggest laugh attack. We are them.
We are them. Hayden was like, you look absolutely vile. I know.
Rooney, my 2-year-old, he saw me and he ran to Brandon and was like scared of me, and I was like, baby, it's mommy, trying to grab him, and he was like, no.
It's so crazy what hair and clothes can do.
Oh, I put my wig on first and they did not like it, and then I put the clothes on and it was just like, you are not mom. And even Riggs was like, Mom, take it off.
Like, I'm uncomfortable with this. I know, it's so sad. Oh. Hey, this will just help them all appreciate how we look in normal life.
I know. No, it was so funny though. And Brandon was just like obsessed with me scaring Rooney. He was like, now try to grab him now. And I'm just like, cool.
So what are you guys all being for Halloween this year?
So we're doing Pokemon, and me and Brandon are being Team Rocket. They're like the bad guys, and then the boys are just being Pokemon. So every year, I used to pick them when they were younger, and now they decide together what they want to be, and then we all dress up as a family.
It's like a family costume from here on out.
Well, the last 2 years, I let them choose a different costume for school. So they had a solo costume for school, and then we did the family costume at night.
Okay.
So if they want to do that, but this year I got Riggs a Pokemon costume and an Ash costume, and I was like, you can wear whatever one you want.
Cute.
Yeah.
So then they can switch it up at school.
But I want to do family costumes, ideally every year.
Do they have the same kind of traditions now? The school parade and school Halloween party at their class and all that?
But I'm sad because I want to volunteer so bad, but I can't bring Rooney, and Brandon works.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, okay, I'll bring the juice boxes and I'll donate stuff. But I'm sad because I would love to volunteer for the parties.
Yeah, that would be so fun. You should just try and get a sitter or something.
I know, it's like a 3.5 hour block. So in the middle of the day, it's kind of hard to find someone. But when Rooney goes to school, or even when he's in preschool, I'll for sure try to sneak in and volunteer. Then they do a Halloween parade, but it's outside. Ours was always inside, but theirs, they do a block around the school. I loved holidays at school. Did you?
Oh, that's one of the best parts. The Halloween party. It's just the best day all around.
But I remember when I was in elementary, you couldn't dress up all day long. At lunch, you got to put your Halloween costume on.
Really?
Is that how it was for you guys?
I
think they switched it. Because I remember I would try to get ready in the bathroom at school. Like, I had my costume in my backpack, and I was like trying to dress up and get my hair how my mom would do it. I was like, I can't figure it out.
Yeah, that's where I thought it would be hard. We got ready in the morning so your parents could help you get dressed and stuff.
Yeah. But other than that, it's pretty much the same.
So what do you guys do for Halloween? Do you go with all the cousins?
We did when they were younger. Lately, everyone's just kind of peeling off and doing their own thing. Sometimes we'll meet up with some of the cousins, and because it's hard because Melissa, my sister-in-law, her kids are older, so they want to go like legit trick-or-treating and get all the candy. And my kids are younger, and so they're done after a block and a half. So the last few years, we've gone to do 2 really fun streets that are all decked out and a little haunted house and stuff like that. And then we do trunk-or-treating. So I don't know. What do? You just go with your nieces and nephews?
Yeah, it makes me so happy because we've always had the tradition where my grandma would make homemade chicken noodle soup, and we'd meet at her house, and then we'd eat soup and then go and come back and trade candy and all the things. So now we do that here, and it's so fun. I asked my brother the other day, I was babysitting, and I was like, what's your plans for Halloween? And my sister-in-law was like, the kids would not know what to do if they didn't have soup at your house. I was like, oh, yes, I love that.
Wait, so they eat soup at your house and then they go trick-or-treating?
Yeah, so I make chicken noodle soup and homemade root beer, and then we'll eat, and then we'll go trick-or-treating around this neighborhood, and then we'll go over to their neighborhood and vineyard and hit a bunch of houses. But usually just even doing this neighborhood is good enough. Aiden will just be, okay, have fun, and then we'll just watch Who Be Halloween with Scout and wait for trick-or-treaters.
Wait, that's so fun.
I know.
I want to do something like that. The first few years, we all got together and we would do it at my in-laws and have a little party, but it's just harder now.
But I feel like you guys should still do it, because even if the big kids stay out longer, then great.
I know.
Because when the little kids are done, they can go back to grandma and grandpa's and hang out.
Yeah, for the first 3 years, we would come back and then it was like a party. But I think it's harder now too that the kids are in school. This year it's nice because it's on a Friday, but usually I don't want to drive all the way down to Utah County and then stay till 11 and then get home at midnight and then they have school the next day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know, but I do want to lock in a tradition. Okay, this is what we do every Halloween.
Yeah, and then it feels like a tradition. Do your kids dump out all the candy and trade candy and stuff?
Yeah, but then I'm the classic mom that snatches them, puts them up high, and gives them a piece of candy in their lunches for a few weeks. And then I'm like, the candy disappeared.
Do you do the switch or anything?
No, I probably should because I feel bad I don't let them just have their candy because they would eat it all.
At what age do you just let them have their candy?
When they get older, 5th, 6th grade, the last few years, I'll probably just be like, okay, you can
do what you want.
Yeah, monitor your own candy. But right now, if they had it in their room, they would just eat it all.
It's true. But I remember as a kid having it in my room and just loving that. Like just
I would hoard it. Would you hoard it?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm going to save the Twix till the very end, so I have to eat these like gross Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah, I have memories of, because we would always get a pillowcase from my grandma, and we'd put the candy in the pillowcase. So then it would just be like, how massive can we get our freaking pillowcase? We'd go all night. This was probably 3rd to 6th grade. Yeah, like those prime years. And then I remember playing Nintendo and just having my big bag of candy and like, ooh, what do I want next? And just having the freedom to have a massive bag of candy if I wanted it. That was so fun.
Oh, Halloween especially 3rd to like 6th grade, because 7th grade is when parties start and you don't really trick or treat anymore.
Yeah.
But those are the prime years of let's go hard, because right now for sure they're not there. Where they're just like, it's cold, and they don't really care about candy that much.
Yeah, because they can probably just have it anyway. But it was just everything. Our childhood with Halloween, or when you'd stop at a house and they would have a toy or something different, or the king size candy bar house. Hayden buys king size candy bars. That's what we give out. Because we don't get that many trick-or-treaters, but it feels so fun being like the cool house. I would love to, like when I have kids, make it like fog machine and make it fun to come here.
But that's what's hard too, is I put a bowl of candy out.
Yeah.
Because I'm trick-or-treating with my kids.
That is true. So maybe you have to do it opposite.
Yeah. I'm sure you're going to make your porch super fun and
what's
witchy.
So funny though too, I feel like my dad would always take us. My mom might come to a few houses, but I feel like a lot of moms stay back. Do you think when your kids are gonna go hard trick-or-treating till late, would you go back home and let Brandon take them, or would you just be out with them all night?
No, I feel like I'd be out with them. What I'd probably do, and I feel like my parents would do this for me, but it was my mom. I don't even remember my dad really taking us trick-or-treating when we were older. But it was like a mom would drive you to a street and then wait in the car, and then you do all of them, and then you get back in the car, and then the mom drives you to another street.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I remember going to different neighborhoods, and my dad driving us to a big neighborhood. You know, the rich neighborhoods.
Yes.
Where
always the
good
rich
candy was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so fun. So you would trade when you were little? Like
candies. Yeah, just the classic VHS tape of you're all crisscross applesauce on the ground and all the bags of candy are dumped out. It would be me and my siblings, and we would all trade.
So what kind of things would you trade? Do you remember what ones you would try and get rid of? What's the worst Halloween candy?
I feel like Tootsie Rolls.
Ugh,
and they're like the big ones. I'm not eating a freaking brick of Tootsie Roll.
The big fat Tootsie Roll. Yeah.
And then dots are the worst.
Oh my gosh, this is like triggering me.
And then I'm trying to think. Three Musketeers were low because it's like, why not just get a Milky Way? You're trying to be a Milky Way and you're not.
Yeah, it's halfway there.
Yeah, halfway there, and it sucks. And then I never liked Almond Joys. Those are bottom tier. But then also the off-brand candy. That's just the random trying to be like sweet tarts or little hard candies. I'm like, what are these?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And it's Halloween packaging, but it's just this random crunchy candy.
Yeah. It's, what is it called? There's a name for it, like the candy mix.
So those are the worst. But then I feel like it goes up, like the classic Skittles and Starburst. Those are starting to level up a little bit. Even just the Airheads. Great. You then level up to chocolates.
But I love a trolley pack.
I want a few of those, but give me all of the Twixes, Snickers, Kit Kats. Those are more treasured and they're more expensive. If you buy the big Halloween bags of candy, the chocolate is $5 more.
What?
expensive than trolleys and stuff like that.
Really? That surprises me.
So I'm sure if you would divvy out what you get more of, you don't get as much chocolate because it's just more expensive.
Interesting. I just don't like classic candy bars anymore, really.
So
the chocolate's so cheap, it just tastes kind of gross.
Totally. But what was your tier? What did you really
like all of those? I 100% agree on the ones that you would get rid of. My top tiers were 100 grand.
Oh, duh.
Butterfinger.
Oh, no.
I love a Butterfinger. That is
Butterfinger?
that is the Halloween candy to me. Butterfinger and Kit Kats are the Halloween candy, but I don't really like Kit Kats. But
Butterfinger's so disgusting to me.
no, it's so good. I love it. And then I love getting a little pack of Nerds. I love Nerds. It's like
Nerds.
The pink or purple boxes.
And you're just like,
oh yeah, just like soggy cardboard at the top.
oh my gosh,
love that. And then I just always loved anything different. If you would randomly get someone who would give you Pop Rocks or something like that, it would be like, oh my gosh, this is everything. This is different. But my dad's favorite candy was Three Musketeers, so I'd always save one for him. And I remember like, oh, Dad, like make a whole pile for him and give them to him. I know, so random.
But that's what I'm saying. Some people love Three Musketeers, and I'm like, but where's the caramel? Just be a Milky Way.
I know, but it's chocolate and marshmallow. People just like that. Yeah, people just like it. But I would try and trade for the sour candy. I've always been like a sour candy type person. But I don't feel like they even had the mini bags of Sour Patch Kids and stuff like that when we were little.
I'm trying to think
they've
of
definitely stepped it up with the stuff. They have mini Nerds cluster bags and they have little fun dips and all the things.
I need to go back to pictures on Halloween night that all my candy spread out, and I should really look and see the type of candies.
Zoom in and see.
Yeah,
or if you get like a saltwater, those taffies.
But it was just the best. I don't care what the king size candy bar was. It could be literally a Three Musketeers, and I was like, this is the prized possession.
Yeah, even like the Tootsie Roll that you talked about, the giant Tootsie Roll, that was still considered the king size candy bar because it would be like the big sheet of bricks, and then you're like, okay, well, this is big. Yes. So that was amazing.
You know what's random? I don't even know if they have them anymore. Do you remember Charleston chews?
Yes.
I loved a Charleston chew.
But were those always mini?
No, they had one that was this big.
Like a big long one?
Yeah, big long one.
I just remember getting the box of the small Charleston chews.
Oh, see, I don't even
Which is funny because it's basically
like
Three Musketeers.
Were you a dollar store family? Would you go to the dollar store to get candy?
No.
That was us before we'd go to the dollar theater. It was like, okay, you get to stop by the dollar store, each get one candy, and then we'll sneak it into the dollar theater.
Which is so funny because the dollar store candy ends up being more expensive.
Is it? No, it's not.
Because yeah, a lot of times you could get a candy bar for 75 cents, like one single candy bar, and then they charge you a full $1. Now it's $1.25 at the dollar store. Because even the bigger candies, I was there 2 days ago getting them for my niece and nephew because I was babysitting them, and a big bag of M&Ms or peanut M&Ms, it was $4.50 or something.
At the dollar store?
They have the tiers where it's like,
I hate that they're doing
this,
that.
and then this one's $5. And I was like, this is more expensive than freaking Macy's.
Yeah, I feel like in some ways now you go to Macy's and a candy bar is literally $1.50.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, I can save a quarter, but I probably wouldn't buy a candy bar at the dollar store because when I was growing up it was 2 for $1 or 3 for $1. So you could get 3 candy bars for $1.
That makes sense. Or if they have a bag of gummy worms for $1, that's probably cheaper. I just don't think their selection's that good.
But I went to the movies the other day with the boys, and for one bag of candy it was $7.25.
Yeah, you can't buy candy at the movies. You have to buy it before.
Crazy. So we went to the dollar store and bought all of this stuff, and I'm like, this is great. But I think movie theater candy is fresher because it turns over faster. And so whenever I have a movie theater candy, it's never stale. It's always crisp and yummy.
Yeah.
We stopped at the dollar store the other day before we went to the movie, and I'm like, even this Kit Kat tastes like it's been sitting there for a while.
Yeah, not great quality. I agree.
But you know, at the dollar store, they have those packs, and it's 6 mini candy bars for $1. And it's just a little sheet. Those are where it's at.
Yeah.
But when I was growing up, we used to go to the movies, and there was a thing called Zowers. Do you remember those?
Oh, yeah.
They were Micronite, but sour, super sour.
Such a movie theater candy.
And I would always get Zowers.
Yeah.
And Slim Jims. A pack of 6 Slim Jims.
Ew.
It's so disgusting, but those are my 2 that I chose.
Slim Jims and Zowers and then popcorn.
No, we didn't even get popcorn at the movies.
Oh, no, you didn't?
No, we never got popcorn. Isn't that so depressing?
I hated those families that like my friend would invite me to a movie and we'd go to a movie and we wouldn't get popcorn.
It's like,
and
what's
I'm
the
just
point?
like sitting there. Yeah. We always got popcorn. And now I can't go to the movies without it. And
Oh.
Hayden's like, we don't need it. I'm like, yes, we do.
No, even if me and Brandon go to a huge dinner and I'm like, I'm not even craving popcorn, I have to get it. I have to spend the freaking $9 on a small popcorn.
It's like a comfort blanket type thing. Oh, yes. I'm so glad you agree.
If I go to the movies and there's nothing, I'm just like,
Why am I here?
yeah.
The times you go to the movies and you're on a diet or something, it's the worst.
Oh, no. And then I always get an icy. I go so hard at the movies. It's an indulgent for me.
It is, because it's like, well, let's just block out the rest of the world, get a ton of treats, and pretend our problems don't exist for 2 hours.
I think also I have this compulsion to get stuff at the movies, even the $7.50 candies for my kids, because I never got any of the stuff when I was little.
Yeah.
I never got the drinks ever.
Oh, the drinks. So I want to hear what some of your favorite Halloween costumes have been that you've ever done.
I was really thinking about this on the way down here of before I got married. Costumes.
Because would you dress up a lot before you got married, or did you tap into it more or less after you got...
No, I always dressed up. Tell me yours and get my mind jogging. What were some of your favorites?
I was trying to think as a kid, my favorites... I remember I was a baby one year and I loved that. It was probably second grade, but I wore footy pajamas and had a bottle and a binky and a diaper bag,
obsessed.
And just loved being a baby and pretending I was a baby. I remember being a fairy and loving that because I was just decked out in glitter, like all the body glitter. And I was Shania Twain one year, and I feel like I was a witch 5 years in a row.
Yes.
It always was just like, I'm going to be a witch this year. And then...
Did you switch into trying to be slutty?
Like, no, except for, I think it was my sophomore year of high school. If Maddie's listening to this, she'll die. Because there's this picture of us because we were trying to be like slutty. She dressed up as a biker chick and I dressed up as Batwoman.
Okay.
It was like a pleather dress.
Okay.
And I did the smoky eye like
Mask.
And just had this really tight Batwoman dress, and I wore it till high school. And I remember sitting in seminary in my Batgirl costume,
And you're just like, hi.
I know, that is so cringe. I don't know why. I feel like it was when it was discovered that they had slutty superhero costumes.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I have to join
like
in.
you could be Wonder Woman and just the short skirt or whatever. And then I don't think I ever dressed up again after that for school because I was so cringed out.
Totally. Junior and senior year, I didn't dress up at school. I was over it. But one year, I think it was sophomore year maybe or freshman year, I made, Twister the game. I cut it out and I made a Twister costume. So I made a tutu skirt underneath of all the colors of the dots. And then I cut one of the game mats out and laid it on top and made a skirt. And then I made a little spinner hat. And looking back on that, yeah, I was like, oh, that's so cute. And
I know.
So I think that one was cute. And then I remember freshman year, actually, me and my two friends, we dressed up as Mean Girls. And I was the mouse. And I wore Spanx and fishnets. And I remember my parents were furious.
Really?
Yeah. I think at lunch they came and got me and were like, no, you can't wear it anymore. You have to change.
Wow.
And so I had to wear black leggings instead of Spanx. But then I definitely feel like I tried to dress slutty, but I can't really remember. Senior year, did we do anything?
Senior year Halloween, none of my friends dressed up, but then last minute we decided to be nerds. And so we just put our hair up in pigtails and put glasses on. Randomly last minute.
That's what's so sad is I can't really pinpoint a lot of
memory.
I do just remember it switching to you stop trick-or-treating and you want to go to a house party and you want to make out with a boy at the end of the night. Yeah. Watch a scary movie, hold hands, and kiss.
But then I wouldn't really dress up. I did dress up here and there. If my family did a party, I did have some fun costumes. I did like a Cindy Lou Who costume, which was so fun. And then I did a Dead Taylor Swift, which I loved.
Yeah. There was a few years you threw big Halloween parties for like probably 4 years.
Yeah. I love a good Halloween party. And I did the big murder mystery party.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's so funny because Brandon asks me every single year, oh, so is Sammy not doing anything this year? I'm like, babe, it's been 6 years. Like, let it go. Yeah. But this year he asked me, oh, so is Sammy not doing anything for Halloween? I'm like, name the last time.
Yeah. No, it became like a tradition and then I stopped doing it.
But then it switched to Christmas because you used to not do an annual Christmas party. That just started like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I think before the Christmas, it was Halloween.
Yeah, it was Halloween, and then I cut off and did nothing for probably 3 years. And then once me and Hayden got married, I started doing Christmas.
The murder mystery was epic.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I won.
Did you?
Maybe me and Brandon won best costume or something. I won something, I remember.
At the murder mystery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that was so fun.
I know, we should do something like that again. I genuinely feel like once I have kids, I will probably throw one. And then people can bring their kids.
I'm sure it'll be, maybe you'll just expand where you do soup and trick-or-treating, and then afterwards they come back, and maybe that'll be your kids and their cousins party every year.
For sure we'll do that every year.
I guess costume-wise, when me and Brandon started dating, we've done a costume every year, and we've had some of my favorite costumes. Like
some really good ones.
Dora and Backpack.
Yeah.
He was, I was Backpack, and he was Dora because he had
Yeah.
long hair. That was so funny. And then we did like Winnie the Pooh and Christopher Robbins. We did, what's that monkey? Curious George, Man in the Yellow Hat. Those are all before.
You guys would always go all out for Halloween.
Madeline and Pepito from the book series. And then ever since we've been with kids, we've always done a family costume, and those are so fun. But it switched as the boys got older to what they were interested in, like Paw Patrol, Power Rangers, whatever they were into, we did a costume based on that. This year, Pokemon. It's not necessarily where I'm like, oh, let's do this really cute, because we did Rocket Power. Do you remember that cartoon Rocket Power?
Yes.
We did that when they were little, because Riggs had a helmet because he had a flat head.
Oh, yeah.
And so he was the kid with the helmet with the little wings on it. And that was a nod to my childhood. But I would definitely want to do more of that, like this.
Yeah.
Zach and Cody stuff, but they don't know.
Nostalgic, funny stuff. Yeah. No, and you definitely do it for the kids. And then as you get older, they'll probably want to do their own thing or dress up with their friends or whatever, and then you guys can do your thing.
I know, that's gonna be crazy.
But that's why I feel like you guys need to lock in. Like, no, we always do something over at Brandon's parents' house or something, or else they're gonna start going with friends. I feel like you got to have a central home base for Halloween so that it stays that way.
Well, I told you this year, I was like, should I throw a Halloween party for the boys and their friends? And they've been asking me, Mom, can we throw a Halloween party? And I was like, oh, should I just bite the bullet and do it? But they each have 7 friends that they're like, we have to invite these friends. 15 kids at my house. Yeah. That sounds exhausting. I think I've opted out for this year, but I think next year maybe I'll start some type of...
Totally. I think you should do that for sure. The weekend before Halloween or something.
You've made me really, even just talking to you about whenever we talk about holidays, I have this huge push to be very intentional with traditions, and I don't even know, just romanticize them more, because we have a lot of traditions, but I'm not like, this is the tradition. It's just kind of happens. Even we watch Harry Potter every year, but this year I was like, no, I'm going to be more intentional, and we're going to go to lunch, and then we're going to prepare. And then I got all these little Harry Potter treats and did all this magical stuff for them. And then we watched it, and I'm like, I'm going to do this every year. And then they'll know that this is the Harry Potter day.
But I think it kind of comes as it goes. I look back on my childhood and my family. The family traditions that we had were kind of created on a whim and then become something that we were just trying to make it fun, and then it ended up becoming a tradition.
What's hard is, I would say the first 5 years after we had kids, it was like Brandon's family and their traditions and their parties and what they do just became our traditions. But I feel like the last few years, and it's not just our family, it's all the brother and sister-in-laws, they're trying to figure out their own family things.
Yeah. Every family hits that breaking point where it's Sunday dinners, we kind of do our own thing, and we do it once a month. It breaks off.
And it's starting to break off right now, because now everyone does their own family trips now. And it used to just be like, okay, what are we all doing?
Yeah. You guys should fight for that, because you're lucky that you have so many cousins the same ages where it still is fun. I mean, you guys will still do Christmas and stuff, but I think you guys should get together for Halloween.
I think what's crazy too is I have this image of what all the cousins, what their dynamics are and their relationships, like in my head. But the other day we were just at my mother and father-in-law's house, and they were just playing, and I was like, they are going to have their core memories that I'm not even a part of.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, we always went and played hide and seek, or we always did this, or we always went and played with Legos. I don't know what it's going to be, but they were all upstairs just playing some random game. And I was like, oh, they have their own narrative.
Yeah.
Just like
Aunt
we
Chelsea's
do.
not going to be part of it. Yeah. It's so true.
Because even just
it's
playing
so
with my
fun.
cousins in the basement, and we would play school and house and all of this stuff. My parents, they weren't ever a part of that or didn't know.
I know, it's so fun.
And so I'm grateful that they have such close ties.
Such close cousins. But I feel like that's a recipe to make a holiday magical, is just all the people.
Totally.
Should we get into our spooky stories?
Yeah, let's get into spooky stories.
I was genuinely scared reading these. I was organizing them all so that we could read them, and I got scared because there's some scary paranormal weird stuff that happens, and just scary freaky experiences where you can freak yourself out.
Yeah, we asked you guys, what's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you?
Yeah.
And a lot of them were just little short, this happened, but it freaked me out. You read books and you watch movies and it's like, oh, that's not real. But then these, it's like, oh crap, these happened to someone.
And these weird other times. I need to put some spooky music to these too.
Yeah.
When I do the podcast, because these are scary. Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. I was staying in a historic hotel for work and kept hearing 3 soft knocks at my door at exactly 3:11 a.m. each night, but no one was ever there. When I Googled it, I found out that someone had died in that room years before at 3:11 a.m.
See, that kind of crap.
I know.
That's a no for me.
But I was on a work trip a couple weeks ago, and I was in a hotel by myself, and I was so creeped out because it was kind of an older hotel. It was nice, but it was in San Francisco, and I was like, this place is haunted. Freaked me out.
Well, remember that one story of that girl she was alone in the elevator with? And then she checked out and was like, oh, just so you know, someone was following girls into their hotel rooms. Just crap like that. That stuff happens.
Yeah. Scary experience.
Okay, I'll go. I was babysitting my niece and had her baby monitor next to me while I did homework. Out of nowhere, I heard a man's voice go, shh, go back to sleep. I ran into her room. She was alone and fast asleep. I still don't know what it was, but I never babysat overnight again.
That is creepy. The baby monitor is terrifying.
No, that kind of stuff. Because especially if you don't have a video one and it's just the noise, I picture that stuff all the time. And part of me wonders, like, did you hear that? Or were you freaking yourself out?
No, it's like you for sure hear it where you're just going about your night and then it's just like, shh, fall asleep, and your heart sinks.
I think about that though.
That's
In my
what's-
intrusive thoughts. And I'm
I
like,
know.
I would go in and freaking like,
But that's what's so crazy is some of these stories, like a baby monitor, something that's just so innocent and redundant and a big part of your life, can be so spooky. You can be scared about what's going on in your baby's room when they're just asleep.
one thing too, I think Elizabeth Smart has
Rocked
me.
us all.
Yeah, because she literally got snatched from her bed in the middle of the night from her window. But I remember one time, I can't remember which kid it was, but I was looking at the baby monitor and it looked like a figure was sitting on the glider.
Serious?
And I fell out of my bed and ran and opened the door. That's when your mother instincts, you're like, what would I do? It's like, protect. It's just immediate. And I run in and my baby was sleeping and it was just blankets and pillows on the glider, which there's usually not.
Okay.
So it looked like someone.
So it freaked you out.
Oh my
gosh, that is terrifying.
Yes.
See, that is terrifying.
And then Brandon's like, what the heck? Just stuff like that.
Okay, but in my mind at the time, it was terrifying.
But the thing that's funny too is I would assume when I play that out in my head, I would wake Brandon up and I'd be like, go look. But your instinct kicks in and it's like, I don't even care. I will go and I will fight whoever's in there. And so maybe that's a weird thing with the scary movies you watch and you're like, why is the girl running towards the danger? I would be that. If it was for my kids, I would run towards the danger and destroy.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, you go.
Okay, I was home alone doing dishes when I heard someone whisper my full name right behind me, clear as day. I spun around and dropped a glass. No one was there. The back door was locked.
See, that also when I'm in the shower, I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
in the curtain, I have to like,
Yeah, totally.
like peek all the time.
Peek behind it and make sure like no one's there. Because yeah, you do have those thoughts. It's so true.
But that's what I'm saying. These stories, heard your voice, things like that. I'm like, okay, let's rationalize this. What really happened?
Yeah, most likely it's kind of like an intrusive thought, but
It seems so real.
what are you doing? Yeah, like a scary voice, and it feels so real.
And I'm sure these people that submitted this are like, no, I literally heard it.
but it could be more paranormal too. That's what's scary is, yeah, maybe it wasn't like a robber in your house being like, Chelsea Perez, you know, but it could be ghostly.
I know, but I just don't
believe in that.
Yeah. I do believe in evil spirits, I think.
Okay.
But the paranormal stuff, I definitely poke holes in that.
But the paranormal stuff is evil spirits.
I know, but I think it's more just inviting and gross feeling in this, but just someone like levitating up, you know, oh, the drawer moved in and out. I just don't.
Yeah. Yeah, like a haunted house. I get that.
And especially too, there's been so many documentaries and we're going into the spooky house and this happened. And then they're all debunked later. Like, oh, it really was just production or we were doing this. And I just don't buy it a ton. But I'm such a scaredy cat. If I was there, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, I totally believe in freaking yourself out, or you could put the pieces together. No, I swear that moved or whatever. It probably just moved, but in your mind, it's scarier than you think.
Yes. Okay, I'll go. In high school, we snuck out and went to this supposedly haunted spot in the woods. We were laughing, joking until we stumbled upon a circle of half-melted black candles, a dead bird in the center, and what looked like fresh footprints around it. We didn't even look at each other. We just ran. And I feel like this story is the classic let's go somewhere that we know is haunted and freak ourselves out.
Oh, can I tell you a story?
Yes.
This almost exact thing happened to me, my friends. So in high school, one of my friends was dating this guy who got a Ouija board at Toys R Us. And so she's like, oh my gosh, in the back of my car, should we go do it? So we took it up to her grandma's property that they said this part was haunted. And so we were just outside in these trees and we're doing this Ouija board. And half of my friends...
I just realized you're Cody.
You're like, who are you? So we're doing this Ouija board. And I think a couple of my friends decided to pull a prank on us where one of them was going to pretend to be possessed. So we're asking all these serious questions, and I think we're low-key probably pushing it towards the answers. It's spelling out, okay, how many this, how many that? And one of our friends' dads had died, and she asked something, what time did my dad die at, or something, like some dark question.
Yeah.
And so we're doing it, and my friend Paloma falls back and pretends that she's getting, like, possessed, freaking levitating off the ground and having a seizure, basically. And it freaked me out so bad. I felt like I got electrocuted. I was shocked. I stood up and just started sobbing. It was the worst feeling in my whole life.
See, things like that you can welcome in, and maybe it's not even evil spirits, but it almost is confirmation bias of tricking your brain into fearing things.
Yeah.
And how real that can be.
Yeah, because it's like you're putting yourself in this zone, how you can put yourself in a calm state and meditation and that type of stuff. You're exposing yourself to that. Not, I wouldn't say, oh, well, you're putting yourself in these situations in bad spirits or whatever. But I mean, obviously in that sense, we're trying to call in spirits. But I think just the idea, especially at that age, of a Ouija board and those type of scary things. We used to do that stuff all the time, like Bloody Mary and Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board, things like that really freaked us out as kids because we're just processing all that. And I think we still believe in that kind of stuff, that it can happen.
But even now, I can't watch a ton of scary stuff or just upsetting to me. I don't even want these images in my head. I don't want this to be my brain space. And I think it's similar where I'm going to surround myself with light and good things and warm, fuzzy feelings and meditation. And of course, your brain is going to process that as your reality, these calm, good things. But if you're consistently surrounding yourself, watching really disturbing things or whatever, of course, your brain is going to create that as your reality.
Even with how much content we're consuming, if I find myself doing that, if I'm watching something on TikTok or something suspicious, scary, true crime thing, and then I think about it as I'm walking to my car the next day, it really can impact you. Oh, this one was on topic. She said, we tried Bloody Mary in 6th grade at a sleepover. Nothing happened, but later that night, my friend's mom mirror actually fell off the wall. We all screamed and called our parents. As a 6th grader, that would be like, oh my gosh, the mirror just shatters and then you all scream.
Oh, I would freak myself out. I remember me and my friends were home alone. We were probably in 5th grade or something. And we're like, the door, the
Oh yeah. You just be playing the back. did you hear those footsteps? And then you're like, wait, no, stop. Don't. Are you serious? Oh my gosh, no.
And then I remember we ran into the kitchen and Ellie had these knives in her hands. She grabbed like butcher knives off the counter and we're all hiding behind her because we heard the front door open and someone walking up the stairs. And Ellie's like, I'm going to shove this one in its gut and this one in its neck, just being so graphic. And then my dad comes around the corner and we're all just like, ah, and he's like, girls, what are you doing? But you get to that point where you're so freaked out.
Oh, 100%.
I haven't had one of those times in a long time. But growing up, it's so much. Did you ever play this game? It was called Annie.
Yes. Wait, remind me what that is.
So there's a chair and your head is under the chair and you're laying flat on the ground. And so you put a hoodie on your feet.
Yes.
And make it like a head. And then someone comes and sits on the chair, but you can't see. You think it's their face.
And you ask Annie questions.
And it's like, yes, no. And then you shoot your feet up.
Yes. I remember playing that all the time.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, I'll go. This kind of stuff freaks me out. I was walking to my car after work and a man approached me and said my first and last name. I didn't recognize him. He told me that he'd seen me around and thought we should hang out. I pretended I was calling my boyfriend and sprinted to a nearby store, reported it. The police had said someone with my exact description had been followed the week before in the same area.
Ooh.
That stuff freaks me out because that's real. Like that kind of stuff happened and some creep was stalking her and saw her. Knew her first and last name.
So do you think the week before he thought it was her?
No, I'm sure he just had a type or something.
Because if he knew her first and last name, that's creepy.
Probably was stalking her a little bit.
Yeah. Ew.
And I think with our day and age with social media and stuff, it's just so scary.
Yeah. It is true.
Because someone could become like obsessed and fixated on you and find all of the information.
That's what I feel happened with the Brian Koberger case with the Idaho murders.
Okay, tell me everything you know about this.
So he had followed a few of them on social media and had been in a neighboring college, technically out of a different state. I don't remember all of the details, but I think he'd been kind of tracking them, following them for a while. Yeah. And it was because one of the girls rejected him. Or this is all just theory because he hasn't admitted to any of it, but based on what they could find on his phone records and stuff. And so then he came and obviously he did murder all of them, but I don't know if he was blindsided that she was sleeping in her friend's room and so he had to kill them both or what.
But isn't one of the roommates he didn't kill?
Well, yeah, two of the roommates were downstairs and they were texting each other because they had heard someone, but it was a big party house, so it wasn't uncommon for them to come in and out. But they were down in the basement and yeah, they didn't get murdered, but all 4 people upstairs did.
Did the 2 downstairs in the basement, did they find everyone murdered the next day? Do you remember?
Yeah, so it was kind of weird. They thought that the roommates that did survive were kind of being suspicious because at first they called in and had said that they weren't sure. They waited a few hours to report it and then they were texting each other from their room. I think that they knew something happened, so they're afraid to go upstairs. But then one of them called their boyfriend to like come check out the situation because they had thought that their roommate had been passed out because she was drunk or something. And then they didn't look any further. And so then they called the boyfriend. The boyfriend went and looked and then ended up calling the cops and was like, you guys need to come. Like, they've been stabbed, blah, blah, blah. Have you not watched any documentaries on that case?
I got to the point where they didn't have any suspects. So it was a documentary leading up.
They have released so many documentaries where they interview the families of the victims. And I think one of them has the roommates in it.
I need to watch it because I hate that I love that stuff.
I know, I'm surprised you don't know more about these true crime. When I was like, oh, we should do a true crime episode, you're like, I don't really watch true crime. But I feel like you would get so into that.
And I did. There was a season where I was so into it. But then I started really freaking myself out.
Yeah.
And was so scared. So I had to stop. That was probably 5 years ago that I was like, I just can't. But even the Gabby Petito or whatever her name is, I watched that whole documentary in one night and I can't stop. I need to know all the information. And I watched it till 4 a.m. And I had the worst dreams and was so scared. It's scary. Obviously, he murdered his girlfriend.
It's just dark.
But afterwards, I just could not stop thinking about it for days after. And I'm like, oh, it's just such an unsafe place for me. But I do love it.
Yeah. I love documentaries and Dateline. That's mine and Hayden's favorite thing to do is watch a good Dateline episode on like a Sunday afternoon. But we don't watch that type of stuff past 6 p.m.
But even Dateline, it's so crazy. That used to be like a hotel television for me. So I'd watch a ton. And I'd watch like 6 episodes in a row. And I'm like, I can't believe there's 6 dead women in a row. That they have this whole, all of these stories.
A new episode every single week.
That's crazy to me.
There's some good new documentaries on Netflix right now that I'm really excited to watch.
Do you watch Making of a Monster, or the Jeffrey Dahmer stuff? And
yeah, I watched Monsters, the one about the Menendez brothers.
Okay, yes,
and
yes,
it was too much for me. Which I really feel like I'm pretty tough with that
I know
type of
when
stuff.
you say it's too much for me, I'm like, no, that's an absolute no for me.
Well, it's just they kept hammering it in about the dad molesting them and them shooting their mom in the face. It was just too much because they're really acting it out. But did you watch Murdaugh Death in the Family?
Yes.
On Netflix. That was the
documentary.
And now they have a scripted series on Hulu.
Have you not started it yet?
No. Have you started it?
There's only 3 episodes out right now, or maybe 4. We've watched them all, and I am so into it.
Is it so good?
It's really good. I got so into that case because there's so many layers, but they're doing a really good job at doing the slow build. It's just sad though.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, I think you'll love it. I want to rewatch the documentary because I remember loving that.
Behind on TV right now. We're so behind on all of our shows. What is happening with my life?
Like I need to.
I just want to watch TV. It's all I want to do.
Uh-huh.
I want to do a Stranger Things rewatch, and I just haven't had time.
I'm so excited for that. That's kind of my scariness level is Stranger Things, where it's like freaky and scary.
The last season was pretty scary.
It's creepy.
Yeah. It is
and scary.
Okay, this girl said, when my brother was in the hospital, he said a little girl in a white dress visited him at night and told him not to be scared. The nurses later said no children were on the floor, but other patients had described her too. Do you believe in that?
Here's the thing. If that stuff happened to me, I'd be like, no, it happened. But it's hard for me on this side.
Somewhere where somebody died could be haunted.
For sure.
Especially a hospital. So many people die there. So many spirits are going in and out of whatever is next.
It's so freaky. Do you believe in that kind of stuff?
I don't know. I don't not believe it, but I don't believe it either.
Yes. Her telling me that, I'm just like, no, that makes sense. And that's so real.
But I think when you're in the hospital, same thing with near-death experiences, your body is not well. And you're not with it. And you're not coherent, and you're on morphine, and you're on whatever. I could see you having thoughts of, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die or whatever, and then having these spiritual experiences.
Yeah, like real ones, and just being very close to whatever's on the other side.
Well, because it's like the story you told about Brandon and Lennox. That's the exact same thing as this. Like he saw people, and this guy was in the hospital and saw somebody. So it could be very real.
Oh, totally. And if you were to tell me, Chelsey, I had this experience, I'd be like, I believe that 1,000%.
Well, yeah, because it's someone you know and trust, and you know they're sane, and so it feels real.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this girl said, I got a phone call from my own number at 2:13 a.m. I didn't answer, but the voicemail was just breathing. I checked with the carrier the next day, no record of an incoming call. Wouldn't that be weird if it was like Chelsey or 801?
Oh, see that kind of stuff,
whatever, like your phone number calling you, and you'd be like, what the heck? So weird.
You know what, too? They do. Not me just poking holes, but they do have those apps that you can call someone and enter in the phone number.
Mm-hmm. Totally. It could have been a prank. Most likely it would be a prank.
But it's just also some of these feel paranormal, but could switch into a freaking psychopath.
Yeah.
That's actually stalking you or trying to freak you out. Or
That's almost worse.
Yes.
Like,
oh, it
100%. is. Okay, we took a family photo in front of our fireplace and later noticed a blurry face reflected in the glass behind us. No one recognized it. My mom still refuses to hang that picture.
See, that kind of stuff. It's so...
Chelsey just doesn't believe any of it.
No, it's so freaky. I'm trying to tap back into this younger self as well.
Imagine hearing this in 6th grade.
Oh, yeah. And I was just queen of these stories, too. Guys, oh my gosh. I know that I heard someone in the basement.
Oh my gosh. Can we talk about really quick the scary stories that you would tell at sleepovers? Do you remember those stories?
Oh yeah, just a bloody hook.
The one of the dog licking the hand. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember.
So there was this one story that was, I don't even remember it, but basically it was this girl was afraid to sleep in her own room. So she would sleep in her parents' room. And this one struck home with me because I'd always be on my parents' floor.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like she was afraid to sleep in her own room. So they bought her a dog. And so the dog would lick her hand every night and let her know that he's there. And one night he licked her hand or whatever, and she got up to go to the bathroom, and the dog was like dead in the shower or something. And so there was a killer in her room, but the killer actually was the one licking her hand. Or like this one about this ballet studio having a sleepover and then everyone got murdered. There was just all these scary stories.
Yes, but I just remember literally telling these like freaky stories at sleepovers
And freaking each other out
about murder. I think what's hard for me now is that stuff is so real. So I don't want to tell a scary story because I'm like, no. Some college girls literally just got murdered in their dorm room.
It's weird that it's entertainment. Even just Halloween in general. Halloween is so... It's so freaky. First of all, a couple of years ago, I remember seeing a scary movie about these teenagers who get killed in this haunted house. They're like screaming and freaking out and nobody's doing anything because that's the whole point is someone's chasing you with a knife. But what if it's actually real? People could full on murder you on Halloween and nobody would know. And we're glorifying it. Like, people are decorating their houses with a bloody head and a bloody whatever.
Oh, and I just finished reading this book that they committed a murder on Halloween because it's the perfect time to murder someone.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing too is even with the skulls, I can't decorate skulls in my house because I think like having someone so close to me die and thinking about their decomposing body, I'm like, skulls are so disrespectful in my mind. So I'm not the house that has cute little skulls hanging everywhere because I'm like, that is like a skeleton or a skull is like a representation of a dead person. I don't like it.
I know. If you really get down to it all, it's like, whoa.
Yeah. It's creepy. Halloween is creepy.
But I think some people love horror and
gore
and stuff like that. It's a real passion, and not even in a sadistic way. I just feel like some people, that's what they like.
Yeah.
I even think of one of your friends. She loves creepy stuff, like a Coraline and Nightmare Before Christmas and creepy Tim Burton. And even that for me, I don't love.
Like Beetlejuice and Addams Family and all the things. Yeah.
Riggs right now, one of his favorite movies is Nightmare Before Christmas. And we watched it the other day and I'm like, this is so scary.
Yeah, it's creepy and weird.
But I was doing all this research about that movie and I love now the making of it. Because it took them over 3 years to make that movie because it's all stop animation. It's all claymation and then they do one and stop and one and stop. So like 1 second of that movie, they had to do like 16 movements per 1 second.
And I think that's what a lot of people who are huge Nightmare Before Christmas fans and all of those, I think it's a fan of claymation.
And I think I just found this new appreciation. I was watching a documentary afterwards about it and just the directing of it all. Even this creepiness of the skull face and Jack having no eyes, it is out of a place of creativity and immense talent.
Yeah.
And so I can really appreciate it now. And even these scary movies and shows and these actors doing these horrific things, it is an art.
It is, yeah.
And they are actors, and that's amazing that they're able to use their gifts.
Yeah, and I think it's really fun to watch scary movies and tap into emotions you don't usually... Like, I love a scary movie. I think there's nothing wrong with it. But this holiday in general is just weird.
Oh, absolutely. I don't like scary movies, and I don't like freaking myself out because I'm like, why would I put myself through that torture? But it's also curious. I would love to talk to someone who loves horror. Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what is it about it? Because a lot of people, it is like a comfort thing.
It's like a comfort thing. Yeah. That's how I feel about Dateline. And that's why guys are always like, why do girls love true crime so much? It is comforting. You see all those TikToks of people being like, watching my comfort show or listening to my comfort podcast. It's like, and he stabbed her 500 times and did this and strangled her and whatever. We've become so accustomed to that. And I'm like, no, tell me more. Tell me something crazier. Tell me something crazier. All of these stories, serial killers and even the Idaho murders, it's so crazy because it has to be bigger and better the next time.
And I do think you become desensitized.
Yeah.
The first documentary you watch, you're like so freaked out, but then the second one, you're like, oh, it's fine. But then it scares me because I'm like, people act on these.
They get inspiration or ideas from it. That's what's scary.
Because even just these shootings or whatever, it's like, oh, he was really into video games, and you get really desensitized with video games. It's scary because how much of these monsters, what is their background? Is it horror? Is it television? Is it video games? What sparked and then made you act on these things?
And just the way that your parents raised you. It's so creepy that people can turn out the way that they do, or that obviously everyone has their free agency and they could be raised in a great family, but most of the time not. And so I'm like, what is it that was missing in your brain as a kid that makes you want to
even
do
just
this?
Sociopaths in general. There was a really cool episode of Armchair Expert. Did you ever listen to that girl that's a sociopath that was on it? And she wrote all these books about sociopaths. So
she's an actual sociopath?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she is explaining it's not always these scary monsters that are out killing people. There's so many sociopaths out there. And basically you just have no emotion. You can't feel love. And I think there's two things you can feel. But she doesn't feel fear, doesn't feel love, but she's married and has kids. So they were asking her all these questions about it. And when she was growing up, she would sneak out of her house and she would people watch. And she was like, it was so fascinating to me to people watch. But I would walk around the city when I was 9, 10 years old. My parents never knew. And I was never scared. And her uncle worked in a prison and they went and did a tour with her uncle. And she heard one of the guards say, oh yeah, all these people are sociopaths. And that was the first time she'd ever heard that word. And so then she started doing research and she's like, crap, this is literally me. I don't feel these feelings. I don't care.
Yeah.
But she's like, for me, it's a conscious choice, like anything. I have a lot of affection for my husband. I see my kids and I don't have the traditional probably sense of love, but like I care and I want to care for them. And they know that. And so I think traditionally that would be categorized as love. I don't know what love is. And that is crazy to me.
We should have Sam come on the podcast and talk about all of the different disorders. Borderline personality disorder, bipolar, all of the psychiatry
Because you feel like
stuff.
he sees a lot of that stuff.
He's doing a fellowship in forensics. So he's literally going to prisons and stuff to see if people are stand to fit trial. So he's working with the craziest of the crazy people and can do schizophrenia, all of the different disorders. And he's going to be a psychiatrist. So he knows all the stuff. So we should talk to him.
Okay, when he's here next, really, we should get him on. I love that type of mental health, but I think it's even freaky to know humans are so vast in their
their sanity.
It's weird because it's like, what is reality? Because what if your brain is telling you one thing? Isn't that your reality, even if it's so skewed?
And that's what I want to know. Is that just something you're born with? Is that based on how you're raised or what you were exposed to as a kid or what you're exposing yourself to now or ways you coped?
I think
There's
it's probably
so
a
much that goes into
combination
it.
of a lot of things. But even this girl, for instance, she was born that way. And she's like, my parents were amazing, loving, kind. But even she would cheat on tests or do things. And she's like, I never felt guilty.
There's just like a switch missing in her brain.
Yeah. I just don't feel
Yeah.
any of these feelings. But I think the reason why she wrote a book is to debunk a lot of things. There's probably a lot of sociopaths out there that you don't even think or realize, but majority are not crazy killers. And I guess narcissism is like really attached to that too. Being a sociopath and narcissism are very connected, but I just think all that is so fascinating.
Yeah.
Because it's how your brain works. And then even me, I'm like, oh, my brain is working great and I'm sane and all this stuff. Why do I think I'm normal?
It's so true. I was thinking the other day about, I don't remember who I was with. They're talking about someone and they're like, oh, she's crazy. Like they're talking about some girl or whatever. She does this, this, and this. But what people think is normal to post on the internet. And then other people will see that like, why does she think it's okay to post that? You know, following these social norms or having behaviors that are different than others, but they're not necessarily bad behaviors or just different personalities. In my head, I'm like, it's so weird. I don't really have anything like that. Like nobody thinks I'm crazy. And I'm like, I'm sure someone does. It's weird because what if people do and you just don't know because you're inside your own brain?
Yes. And I think if you're doing what's like socially acceptable, you are deemed normal.
But then you're kind of selling out.
Yeah, but then how does socially acceptable even happen? it just is. It's the majority is just like, yeah, that's
I think
normal
there's
and
like
good.
a middle bar to be at, like a threshold.
Where like you're talking coherently, you can form sentences,
You
you're
can
like
be
baseline
appropriate.
kind, you have good, it's almost EQ.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're just taught social boundaries. It's like, you know, not to go up and get all up in somebody's space, or you know to introduce yourself, or you don't just like to strangers.
Like fart in public or something.
It's just etiquette that you're taught, that we're all raised, and we're all taught the same etiquette. But then some people are raised differently, where they think it's okay to dress a certain way in public or not wear shoes when they're walking through a grocery store, or just things like that, where it's like, hey, gross, but the world has taught us that we need to be wearing shoes.
And at the end of the day, is it just crazy that we are just these more intelligent animals?
Yeah, that we fall in line to follow these rules.
Yeah. And so I think that that's really interesting. But even my brain, how it works, if I'm really anxious or feeling depressed, things like that, it's crazy how I'm trying to will it to not be the reality. I'm like, no, just be good. And I'm trying so hard. And it's like, no, you have to really work at it and iron out all these deep traumas or deep things that your psyche is so fragile, and how much lack of control I feel. And there's probably even more intense disorders that it's genuinely not in your control.
And then it's almost the opposite, where they're trying to bring themselves back to reality when you're just trying to gaslight yourself into thinking life's better than it is.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Or your reality is, oh my gosh, I hear voices in my head.
Really be happening to you.
And it's like, no, like this is. I wonder what the combination of that is. I know people in my life where they're kind of more on the spectrum of some type of mental disorders. And I think it's a combination of their drug use.
I think it's a personality, trauma, drug use, alcohol, just how you were raised, morals.
And it's like this cocktail of like, and what you're exposed to. And I think it is crazy to think where even just marijuana use and stuff like that, I've seen people that I love that it's really affected their chemical makeup.
Yeah. If you do it way too much and you rely on that, it alters your brain. So when your brain is sober, it doesn't know how to be.
And I think it's crazy that a lot of this is in your control, and then on the adverse, so much of it is not in your control. I'm curious what Sam thinks about it, if he has a lot of empathy for these people.
Yeah, I think he does. I mean, obviously, I'm talking to him about it. He's like, my job is going in and helping them become competent and normal enough to stand trial, and to bring them back to reality and work with them to make them.
Oh my gosh, I wish I want to go to lunch with him.
I know, it's so fascinating. Like the stories that he tells me and stuff about some of his patients, I'm like, whoa, because he's in Las Vegas working with the insane people.
I wonder too, if he's outside and sees some homeless crazy person, if he's diagnosing them low-key, like, oh.
It's so fun because there was this girl on the internet who was having a psychotic break, and I sent him all her stories and stuff, and I was like, tell me everything. What do you think is happening here? When he's like, oh, this is classic case of blah, blah, blah. He can give his opinion on what, it's like the same thing with a therapist. Okay, what are intrusive thoughts? Because he knows how the brain works. It's wild.
Oh, that is crazy.
So we should have him on. That'd be so fun.
Oh, and I think he's such a great person to be in that job, because he probably hopefully doesn't take a lot of it on. He can kind of just be like, okay, I'm leaving that. If I was a psychiatrist and worked with a lot of mental health patients, I feel like it would freak myself out a lot. Even having this conversation, it makes you be like, oh, what is reality? And am I normal? Or is this just
normal?
Like talking, there are these therapists that work with literally people that are murdering people.
Yeah.
Scary people, and hearing what their really dark internal thoughts are, and then they acted on a lot of those,
and then seeing other people out in public being like, any of these people could be doing this stuff. It's terrifying.
Yeah. And that kind of stuff. I think that is what scares me the most out of any spooky stuff, is these real,
what can actually affect you in your day-to-day life
versus the ring,
and just the evil in the world. Yeah, I get that. Obviously that's more real, because it's not like we're hearing on the news every day, ghost intrudes house and kills family, you know. We're seeing all these shootings, we're seeing all these crazy people. Yeah.
And that is just the scary story of it all, that all this stuff is happening.
Let's talk about freaking horror. It's the United States where we sit right now.
Okay, I love this. Hopefully it got you kind of in the spooky season, and also just thinking about the fun part of it, traditions, candy, Halloween
That's
movies.
the thing, is like Halloween can be such a fun holiday despite how weird it is, kind of about how dark it can be. I like that we've turned this into fun, and it really is, as a kid, next to Christmas, the most magical.
Oh, yeah. And I was thinking this year too, I always do little baskets for the boys for every holiday where it's like, oh, I'll do
Like boo baskets?
Yeah, but I've never done the full on boo basket. Like I'll get them Halloween pajamas or whatever.
Yeah.
Some little treat the night before Halloween. But I think I'm going to start doing legit boo baskets.
Well, that's what people do, is they do boo baskets on October 1st. That's what you should do. Because then they can wear their Halloween pajamas all throughout October and stuff.
Because I was like, oh, I'll do it like Halloween morning. And so then they can open them and wear them that night.
Yeah. I mean, you could do that this year.
But I don't even have to do jammies, but I just want to get them little
something
fun stuff.
Just even dollar store stuff I feel like is so fun and rememberable. That is the fun, the childhood magic. But I'm excited for Halloween. I think especially this week I'm getting into it, and then I'm going to be so ready for Christmas. So.
Are you and Hayden dressing up?
We'll usually throw a costume on when we go trick-or-treating. We have a few random costumes here.
Yeah.
From like years past, but it's just such a waste of money to me. I feel like.
Do you think you guys will do family costumes when baby's here?
Yeah, and then I think we'll dress up and get more into it, but
for sure.
I'm just like, what, we're gonna spend $100 on costumes to go around the neighborhood and be with me.
Well, I think
if we had somewhere to go, we would do it.
Because even I think back to your Halloween parties, you would go hard with any costume. So I think if you had a Halloween party or something, you guys would
for sure
deck out.
But it's just that, the age that we're at, if you're not going to a party, it's just like, why? It's feels like such a waste. So not the dressing up, but participating. I'll usually also dress up for work. We'll do a theme. We've done Harry Potter. We did Disneyland.
What's this year?
Last year we did Home Alone. This year we were going to do Severance. But we're actually moving buildings, so they canceled the Halloween plans, which was fine. So I think we're going to do Severance next year, which will be super easy but fun.
Oh, that'll be so
good. Decorate our desk, and then they let all the families come trick or treat at like 3 p.m.
That. You guys are moving offices?
Yeah.
Where?
Just down the street.
So are you not going to be able to walk around like the river and all this?
No, it's literally like 3 buildings down. I'm going to be in the same parking lot as Hayden.
Are you excited?
Yeah. It's so funny. We were talking about where we're sitting, and in the room we're sitting, my boss was like, oh, Sammy, like, you can pick next. You want a window? And he's like, this window faces this building, not the mountain. I'm like, that's perfect, because that's where my husband works. I can spy on him.
No, and he should come to the windows that you guys can see. But then you guys go to lunch every day together.
Yeah, I know. It's so nice. So we already walk together and stuff. And we don't drive together right now, but we need to. Because he'll usually go home for lunch. And I usually end up working later than he does. And so he doesn't want to wait around for me, that type of stuff.
Yeah,
but
I guess just drive separately. But then
we only live 10 minutes away.
Exactly. And then the days that you could both sneak home for lunch, eat lunch together, or go out.
Yeah. Totally. I feel like I'm going to look back on this. Remember when we worked right next to each other and we lived 10 minutes away from we're very lucky right now.
Oh,
like,
so
in a sweet
lucky.
Spot. But yeah, I'm excited for Halloween.
I know, me too.
We're just going to lean in and enjoy it. And everyone enjoy your Halloween tomorrow. Have a good weekend. I'm so happy it's on a Friday too.
Oh, and that next year, Saturday, then Sunday. We haven't made the next 3 years. Oh, I guess it's going to be kind of sad. Next year, I guess they'll do their Halloween parties on Friday.
Yeah, it'll just draw it out. It's almost more fun on a weekday, honestly. Like, Friday's perfect, so just soak it up this year.
Yes.
I know. Everyone have a happy Halloween, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Yeah, Zach and Cody out.
Zach and Cody out. Love you. Bye.